Okay, you have to do it.
Oh. Do you mind repeating that again? I thought this was music. This morning I heard a car horn outside my hotel room.
My name is Lorena. My question is, te hemos visto interpretar papeles desde drama, acción y comedia. Eres un artista completo como hemos visto en los Óscares, pero me gustaría saber qué personaje de la vida real o qué historia verídica puede ser un reto para ti como actor y por qué.
Wow.
It was a difficult one.
Yeah, no, I think it's fair to say that doing something based on a real person that people know raises the stakes to another level. But if you think about, there are, I could go on forever. It's fair to say that someone like Nelson Mandela would be a huge challenge for me. Even though I love him very much, but it's funny. I just saw a script about Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys. That was something that really actually got my attention and really took my fancy. But don't underestimate what it's like playing a fictitious character that to millions of people around the world is very real in their imagination. They've lived with for many, many years. You understand? People are nodding their head because if you grow up or whatever time for 40, 50 years he's been around, and every person who grows up with that has an image of who he is. So in a way, of all the things I've ever done, and I have played real characters and fictitious characters, in a way the most challenging has been Wolverine. Because, let me tell you, I'm looking at your t-shirt now. The fans of X-Men, the fans of Wolverine tell you exactly what they think at any particular time, right? So if you don't get it right, you know, you got to watch yourself as you walk down the street. The vehicle, and this was the Harley. I really enjoyed the Harley, and I did my research very diligently. Is my boss still here? Yeah. But on weekends, I did my best in a very controlled and very legal way to drive Harley Davidson around to get really used to it so that I could pull that part of the film off. But driving on a motorbike, I actually got my license because I've driven in movies before, but I never had my license. Sorry, Jim. But I actually got my license because I knew there was a lot of riding to be done. So riding around on a Harley was pretty much so that was, with this one, that was my favourite. The X-Men movies have always distinguished themselves, as has the comic book, about being about something more than just cool characters, fun situations, fights. It was always about something. There were allegories between Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. They were meant about discrimination of minorities. This was something that was always dealt with, and this is one of the things I loved about it. All our heroes in X-Men are flawed. The thing that makes them powerful is also a burden for them. And discrimination always stems from fear. People don't want to discriminate. They don't understand. They react out of fear. And that's what, in a way, why I've always been someone who has not understood that. I've never understood discrimination. I've never understood, and it is prevalent in every society. But I'm really proud and thrilled to be part of a movie that speaks to all ages, particularly kids, that actually the thing that makes you different is the thing that makes you special. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's not something to be embarrassed by, but it's something to be embraced. And I think particularly around teenagers, all teenagers feel like mutants at some point. Grown-ups don't understand them, their friends don't understand them, the boy or girl they're in love with doesn't understand them, you know, why are they in love with me? There's they always feel different, ostracised, misunderstood, they're uncomfortable in their own skin, and I think that's why amongst teenagers it's been a very powerful movie and a very powerful series, because they can connect. And wouldn't it be great if in feeling a little isolated you also had claws that came out of your hand? Wouldn't that be great, you know? So that's why I think the movies have done so well. I'm sorry, the second question. I have to go back.
La segunda pregunta.
¿Cuál es tu héroe en la vida real? ¿Quiénes crees que sean los héroes en la vida real?
That's easy. My wife. In case you're watching there, you know, I loved, before I came here, my son, again, I was getting on the plane and he gave me a book, The Lonely Planet Guide to Mexico. He goes, Dad, you've got to read this before you go. You've got to know what you're talking about. He's 9. And so I did. As I was coming down here, I read it, and I was reading about how the mother here is absolutely center, and I thought, Mexico's got it right. It's absolutely got it right. And even if you don't feel that, you should say it anyway, because then you're going to be in a lot of trouble. But there's no doubt, the real heroes are the ones you don't know about, the ones you don't see in the press. The real heroes are the ones who, I say my wife, or right now I say mothers, they give so much of who they are every single day. Often, sometimes even without a thank you, you know, except maybe on Mother's Day, you know, and I think without a doubt they're the real heroes. Any day of the week. It's really great getting translation because, what's the name of the person in the translation?
I don't know.
The woman, I'm sorry, where is she?
No sé cómo se llama.
Hola.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Marta.
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 Hi, Marta. Apparently, in Spanish, my name Hugh is huge. Unless, Marta, you're just trying to have a private conversation with me. I'm not sure. See you later, Marta. I think you have to, in Australia, I'm from Australia, and I got my first movie in America when I was 30. So I did a lot of things that I'm glad you've never seen, that existed before YouTube was invented, and in Australia it's a big country, small population and a small industry. The idea that you could be a movie star is a dream world. That doesn't exist. You need to do theatre, television, you host, you do movies. There may be 15 movies made every year, so you have to do a bit of everything. And I think if you look at, I suppose maybe one of the distinguishing features of Australian actors is that their, I suppose, versatility. It's taught to us. That is how we are prepared for the industry. That you basically say yes to everything and just keep saying yes until the doors slam in your face. So, but actually, beyond that, that has been what has interested me about acting. It's the thing that I remember as a young kid, desperate to know what I was going to do when I grew up, and it was hard because I was pretty good at a lot of things, but there was no one thing. I always thought the person who was the brilliant painter or the great scientist, you know, and knew exactly what, I thought that was such a great thing to have in life. And I realise now for me, actually, being interested in many different things, acting was just a natural kind of course. And it's, I'm just so thrilled that I've had the opportunities I've had to go off in different directions. And until those doors slam in my face, I'll keep doing that.